Today, Jesus had boundaries, and so should you. Welcome to Sacred Grit, a podcast equipping men to conquer addiction and overcome inner struggles through physical, mental, and spiritual disciplines so you can become a man of honor and integrity. I'm Jason Lyle. Now let's get to work. This episode is brought to you by David Dodd, Edward Jones McDonough. All right, my dude. Welcome back to the Sacred Grit podcast and Christmas time. Hey, man. So look, we talked on Sunday about boundaries. And so today, real quick, I want to give you some things to work with because maybe you've been thinking since that episode and you've been thinking, there's that crazy Uncle Jack and I don't want to be around him. And there's that party that, they throw for the office. And every time I go, it always feels like, I'm getting in the middle of all this things I shouldn't get in the middle of. You're already thinking about it, right? So I want to give you some tools because that's what Gritty Wednesday is about. So here's the tools. Walk away, say no, choose your inner circle wisely. I'm just going to go ahead and give those to you straight off the bat. Walk away, say no, choose your inner circle wisely. Now, here's the thing about Jesus. He had the innate ability to do this. When Jesus finally just come to the end of where he needed to be in a particular situation, he just walked away. And then he also simply said no, and then he chose his inner circle wisely. So I'm taking these tools from the life of Jesus. So let's break those down real quick. Number one, walk away. Create a leave list. So that might be something you could put on your phone, a leave list. If these things or this person happens, comes, I will leave. That's your leave list. And don't negotiate it. That is a good, hard boundary. So if you might say, man, if I go to that party, I'm going to go because I feel like it's an obligation. But the first time I see someone crack a drink, I'm just going to go ahead and leave. And, that's fine, dude. Or you might say, I'm going to go to this friend's party, but the first time somebody breaks out a joint and lights it up, I'm going to leave. Or you might say, I'm going to go to it could be something else. I'm going to go to my mom's Christmas Eve service at her church. But the first time somebody asked me if I'm saved, I'm going to leave, whatever. I don't know what your boundary is, but create it and make the leave list, right? Put it in place to where already predetermined when this happens, this is going to be my response. So walk away, create a leave list. Number two, simply say no. You do not have to justify. You do not have to give people excuses. If someone says, hey, do you want to come? No, I don't think so. Or, hey, would you like a drink? No. You don't have to start going into this whole, because here's the thing, dude. When we start trying to control other people's emotions, we step outside of our own. So when we start going, well, no, but here's the reason why. We're trying to control someone else, which is a big part of addiction anyhow. We're trying to control our exterior circumstances, but just be in control of your interior world. Just simply say, no. And that's enough. I love that line in the Bible where Jesus says, simply let your yes be yes and your no be no. What a great line. And next is choose your inner circle wisely. Now, here's the thing about a circle of people. All of us have people inside of our lives that do three things. Number one, they either help us grow. Number two, they're people that we give to. Or number three, they're people that we really just do not need in our lives. And you need to know that list. So I do this little bit of an audit, right? Of my friend circle. Is this somebody who helps me grow? And for the most part, most of my guys that are in my life, they help me grow. But then there's another circle, and these are people who I give my time to, and I'm helping them grow. And then there's another circle where I'm like, yep, you probably just don't need to be in my circle. Now, for the most part, that circle is going to work itself out, right? Because you have like-minded people, or people really don't like you if you don't like them 9 times out of 10. And that is okay, my dude. That's something else for us to consider in the midst of this conversation. It is okay for people to just not like you and for you to just not like people. That is okay. And at the holidays, we tend to have to be put into proximity of people. Now, being in the same room with somebody does not mean that you have to be right up next to somebody to be chummy with them. It also doesn't mean you have to be mean to them. If someone is on your they need to go list, then, it's okay to go, hey, how are you? And then just move on. It doesn't mean that you have to be mean or lead the premises, because a large part of what Sacred Grit is about is learning how to control your inner experience while things outside of you are not quite where you want them to be. So if you're in a room where there's somebody who you don't necessarily care for, it's okay to be with that discomfort, but you can also leave that person outside of your inner circle, right? So choose who you're going to grow with, give to, and who needs to go. Because here's the thing, man, that close-knit community during these times when you can get dysregulated really easy, it is priceless to have those guys up next to you and to know that they are there for you. So the 3 tools: walk away, and that means you create a leave list. Simply say no, and that means that you just use that one little word, no, and choose your inner circle wisely by doing an audit. Does this person make me grow, give, or do they need to go? Because during the holidays, it is important to make sure that first and foremost, you are taking care of you. All right, my dude, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you listening in and sharing these with people. They're short, sweet, simple ways that you can become a better version of yourself. If you drop down in the show notes there, you will see thesacredgrit.com. There's an upcoming men's retreat, January 23rd through 25th. There are right now 4 beds left, and the prices range from, I think, $500 to $550 right now is all that's left. But click on there, book your room, come be with us in North Georgia mountains for 3 days of some good masculine fellowship and learning how to be in control of your inner world. All right, my dude. Our final sponsor, my good friend Jody Morgan at Maguziak Morgan and Brown Dentistry in Griffin, Georgia. One of the finest dentists you will ever go to. I know it's a little bit of a drive for some of you, but it is worth it. They are the best. All right, my dude. Merry Christmas, and I will see you on Sacred Sunday.